All right. Hello, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram fam. We are back. Two interviews in one night. Yes. And look, people, you can see Kat this time. She's clear. Now y'all can see her face and what she looks like. Normally she's all fuzzy. All right. So we are back, and this time we have Canaan Smith with us. Woo!
Hey, hey, how we doing, y'all? What's up?
All right. So we were went online, or before we went live, about all the places that you have been visiting. Your Instagram is got tons of beautiful pictures of places you have been traveling, and I want to go to these places.
I do too.
So you,
There's something on my list, and I've gotten to do a couple recently, just with all the downtime from COVID. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do is to get outside, clear my head, do some backpacking, kind of get in the woods, get lost, kind of thing. So I've done a lot of that.
yeah. Now this says Sisters, Oregon.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
is
Right.
absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was more gorgeous, and then those wildfires took hold and just destroyed so much of it, unfortunately. But it grows back. That's part of the system, but it will grow back. But I had a great time when I was there. I was there just a week before all that craziness went down,
Oh
and
goodness.
all the flowers had bloomed, and every trail you took was covered in these wildflowers on either side. It's just nothing but vast expanse of space out there. The backcountry stuff is amazing. So I had a blast.
Yeah. Now, was that just you and your wife, or did
I
you
went
have your baby with you?
we did a guys trip. We did a we kind of got into that TV show Alone,
Yeah.
and I just got the itch to like work on my survival skills a little bit, and that was nothing my wife was interested in at all. But I have a buddy that does this kind of stuff too, and he's into it. So we just took a flight out to Oregon and kind of got lost for a week. It was awesome.
That's cool. Yeah. That definitely sounds like fun, and just a good way just to get lost in nature a little bit and just get out of your head all this craziness that's going on in the world right now, just
Yeah,
with all the craziness with COVID and the election
yeah.
and just
Need
so
something to.
much negative stuff going on.
I know
Just
it. I know
a
it.
great way to get out and just have just positive energy all the way around you.
Well, music is that for me all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
true.
You know,
It is for me too, but in a much different way. Unfortunately, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. I can't play anything.
I was
God's gift to me was the gift of gab, so I can do these interviews.
well. You're a good gabber.
I try to be. I try. It's not everybody can talk as much as I do. So,
That's hilarious.
I do the best I can do with it.
I love that.
But we want to hear your talent. Let's just go ahead and start things off with this song. What do you got for us?
All right, well, I'll play you a brand new one that's unreleased, but we're just working on a full length album that's going to be coming out the top of next year. So this song is on it, and I'm pretty jacked about it. I was just saying how music does that for me. It kind of gives me that escape from whatever I need to escape from, but it also has a way of grounding me. And I've got, from my raising in Virginia, I've got a lot of things along the way that have kept me grounded. In Nashville, in this dream 16 years ago, and I didn't know anybody here. I kind of just made my own way, and but along the way, I met certain people who were figures of, leadership for me. I met people who are inspiring to me as songwriters, artists. I've met people who inspire me as fathers, people who inspire me as husbands. All across the board, I've been grateful to have examples of people and things that keep me centered, rooted, and grounded. And that's what this one's called. It's called Grounded. So I'll play it for you now.
All right.
I've been down 1,000 rows, but I still hold on to my hometown area code. 'Cause the memories made and the lessons learned keep one hand on the wheel no matter where I turn. I'm glad my daddy took my keys when he called me drinking beer. I can't blame the coach who bit my ass my junior year. Don't forget the girl that broke my heart and wrecked my plans. They made me who I am. From the red dirt on my boots to the red word gospel truth, I'm tangled in these roots that keep me grounded. But I left home, I knew it all. I was gonna tear the world up like a wrecking ball. The world don't care what you think you know. Now every time it hits me like a big brick wall. I'm glad my daddy took my keys when he called me drinking beer. I can't blame the coach who bit my ass my junior year. Don't forget the girl that broke my heart and wrecked my plans. They made me who I am. From the red dirt on my boots to the red word gospel truth, I'm tangled in these roots that keep me grounded. I'm grounded like the tallest pine on top of the bluest mountain. I wouldn't want to be no other way. Well, I'm glad my daddy took my keys when he called me drinking beer. And I can't blame the coach who benched my ass my junior year. And everyone along the way, whoever gave a damn, y'all made me who I am. From the red dirt on my boots to the red word gospel truth, I'm tangled in these roots that keep me grounded. I'll never leave these roots that keep me grounded.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that too.
Well,
I like that.
appreciate it. That's that's I love writing songs that are true to my story, and I've kind of like, I'm in a different place in my life right now where it's important to me to embrace where I came from and embrace who I am and what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, all of it. And I think part of being a father, it brings that out in you because you're looking yourself square in the face every day. What kind, like what are you made of? You're having to ask yourself every day, and you're not even having to ask. You're being forced to prove what you're made of almost every day. And so as a songwriter, that spilled over a little bit and allowed me to kind of like tell more about what I am made of and what where I came from. And so this album is full of songs like that, and I'm pumped for it.
Yeah, I like songs like that too, that tell a personal story of who you are.
Totally.
Yeah, I like that. And they're always or maybe not always, but the majority of time they're relatable to somebody else.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah. Now you just said you grew up in Virginia.
Yeah.
Where at in Virginia?
The southeastern part, Williamsburg, a little historic town.
Cool.
I've heard of that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in Northern Virginia.
Oh, you did?
Yep, about 45 miles south of DC.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
I love Virginia is just well, we named our daughter Virginia. That's how much I love it. So
yeah.
That's cute.
I consider Virginia home.
oh, that's great. So we've got that in common already.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love Virginia and I love Nashville. Kat knows how much I love Nashville. I would move to Nashville in a split second if my husband would. But
He's not interested.
well, where we live is where he's lived his whole life. And if he thinks if we were to move to Nashville, we wouldn't have land. And if he doesn't have land, He
Well,
will
I,
not be a happy person.
I think I'm of the same um, mindset as him, because that's all I'm itching to do right now is like sell our place right now and get out in the country. And
In the country.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so but you can't do that in Nashville. I mean, unless you're a multi-millionaire, but you can go 25 minutes outside of Nashville anyhow
Yeah.
That.
and find you a couple
Yeah,
acres.
I live out in Ashland City, if you know where that is.
I
Probably.
love it. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Works.
found her a little slice of heaven out there. She got
It's got
lucky.
bad Wi-Fi, but they're getting AT&T fiber in Jolton. So,
Are you close to the river?
yeah, there's actually a creek like right outside my house. I don't know what creek it is. Couldn't tell you. There's a lot of creeks out there, but
You like have acreage, or are you in
yeah,
the,
there's 2 acres, and
awesome.
I can get to anywhere in Nashville in 30 minutes. West Nashville, downtown Nashville, wherever. So I was like, I'm just gonna drive and get better Wi-Fi and call it a day. But
Yeah, it's great.
it was worth it. I was telling people, when you're in music, at least me personally, I don't like to be around people. I need
Right.
privacy.
Yeah, I need to be inspired. I don't need to look out my back deck and I'm like, oh, hey neighbor,
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
we can literally talk in our speaking voices and hear each other just fine. And it's like,
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Yeah. We're like, if we can see our neighbors, I mean, we don't mind having neighbors, but we just don't want to see you.
Yeah.
So if we can see their house, that's too close.
Or hear you. Either.
So like at my house, let's see, behind us we have a horse pasture, and then on 2 other sides are cow pastures, and in front of us is the empty field.
Wow.
So that works. So that's, yeah. If I could make sure we could go to the Nashville area and have at least 5 acres of land, I could probably talk my husband into moving.
Yeah, you can. It's just not cheap. But
Yeah, well, when I win the lottery, I'll move there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's talk about your musical life a little bit. You said you moved to Nashville 15 years ago?
And yeah, I did. I knew, I just knew that if I had a shot, that I had to be here.
Yeah.
And but there wasn't social media back then. There wasn't YouTube back then. There was MySpace.
Yeah, I remember that.
And but I moved here because I felt like if I had a shot, it was going to be here. And I was playing music in Virginia. I grew up playing music. I was in a band with my buddies from the time I was 12 years old, all the way through college, basically. And after that is when what am I going to do next? I got a degree. I got it. Well, I started working on a degree, anyhow, at James Madison in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
And couple bounce around girlfriends later and chasing tail later, I ended up being kind of at a crossroads and had to decide what I was going to do. And so I went to I talked to a friend who had heard that Belmont in Nashville was a great school and that it was a music school, and I was already really considering Nashville. And so then I figured, well, maybe the safe bet is to go finish a degree, take what I had at James Madison and go finish it at Belmont, get a marketing degree, and all the while just try to write my ass off and meet people and see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And loved my Belmont experience. As soon as I graduated, I think a year after I graduated, I had made enough contact and had enough songs and success with kind of I guess I had enough songs in a catalog that people that was interesting to a publisher, so I got a publishing deal my first year out of college.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it was super cool to get to already, that's when it became real for me, is that I could make a living doing this. And then I just started working on my chops more and hit the road, and shortly after signed a record deal, and had, even when you sign a record deal, doesn't mean you make it either. You gotta get on the radio, and you gotta get to the top, and you gotta do all this other stuff. And
Yep.
so I had to kind of, I threw a couple darts before I hit a bullseye with "Love You Like That," and that changed my life, obviously in every way. But I
Might
got
have heard that song. It sounds roughly familiar.
yeah, I heard it once or twice,
Yeah, once or twice.
but I don't. I think it's somewhere after that. I kind of got a little disillusioned with labels and kind of like the big record label um, behind me. And even though that's an amazing situation, it can also be a situation that's not super ideal at times.
Mhm.
And for me, it became clear it wasn't ideal anymore because I kind of lost my way a little bit in the shuffle. And I had an honest conversation with the head of the label, who I love dearly, and we sat down and I explained where I was at, and he was gracious enough to understand and gave me his blessing to go remember who I am as an artist and what I want to do. And so I did. I did that for just a short period of time. I kind of just thought through, well, what's next then? And when I was at Belmont, I met Tyler Hubbard and Brian Kelly, a Florida Georgia Line. We were best friends in college, writing songs together, and they had since gone on to superstardom, um, and so then now that they were at this crossroads too, where they thought, well, what else do we want to you know dip our hands into as far as like the music industry? They love music, as much as I
Right.
do. And they said, well, let's start a record label and let's make Canaan our flagship artist. And so I was like, well, that sounds amazing.
Good.
um,
Good.
timing couldn't
Okay.
be better. Yeah, it was like it was a God thing where I
Oh,
felt
yeah.
it was all really great timing, and I'm so thankful for it. And I've since really gotten back to a sense of grounded, like I just saying, a sense of just embracing who I am. And the cool thing about this full circle thing with Tyler and Brian is that the Canaan that they met in college is the one that they've helped me remember.
Yeah.
Because I was writing these songs and this kind of music. This was me when I moved here, and I think along the way, this town has a way of you can look left or right too
Mm-hmm.
much, trying to make it work because you see what's working and you can't help but almost adapt. Well, I better do that if that's what's working. I did some of
Yeah.
that, and that's where I got lost. And I had the conversation with the head of the label, and he understood. And being signed now to Round Here Records by the guys who knew me back when, they felt really kind of polish that, dust the uh, dust the old me off, and remind me what's great about what I do without having to try to be anything else. And that starts with the song, guitar. That's always what's been my strength, is this guitar that I've had since I was a little kid, teenager, all the way through college, and still write all my songs on this one. And that's where it began, and it is still. That's a cool place to be. I feel like I've really landed in a spot that gives me a sense of pride in my music again, and kind of a whole fresh perspective, if you will, on
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
on my whole intention behind my music. And I'm in a place that's exciting, and I'm thankful for it. And what tomorrow holds is what tomorrow holds. But what I got today is a kind of a fresh passion for music.
Yeah. And I remember, and I'm drawing a blank. I could be wrong. Is it Cabin in the Woods, or was it a different song that
Yeah,
you wrote? Cabin in the Woods that you wrote that you said gave you back your love for music?
absolutely. I'll play it for you if you want to hear it.
Absolutely. I love that song. Love
Thank
it.
But yeah, one of my favorite things to do, like we were talking earlier, is kind of get out in the woods and clear my head. And sometimes that's, on the ground under the stars, and other times it's in a cabin. If my wife's with me, it's in a cabin. She doesn't like to do the laying on the ground thing under the stars. But we've hit up a lot of cool places along the way and made a lot of good memories. And I've done it with, we've done it with groups of friends. We've done it romantically, just her and I. There's been a whole bunch of scenarios where I was able to take some of those memories and put it into a kind of a storyline song. And yeah, here it is, Cabin in the Woods.
All right.
There's a little spot down there in the hollow my granddad bought with some hayfield dollars, 1,200 square feet. The A-frame sitting between the trees. Yeah, and I got the keys on a Labor Day weekend. 121 doesn't mean we wasn't drinking, we were having a ball. That old cabin in the woods sitting down by the river on a September night, I'll always remember. We were sitting around the fire singing old John Denver. Life was feeling good. That old cabin in the woods, we were young. The beer was cold. That old cabin in the woods. Oh yeah. She was back home on another summer break, and the break we were on was gone in a day, and we loaded up a Chevrolet, and we made a little getaway to that old cabin in the woods, sitting down by the river on a hot summer night. I'll always remember we were playing with fire every time I kissed her. Love was feeling good. That old cabin in the woods, we were young. Wine was old. That old cabin in the woods. Oh yeah. Oh, and I'm here hearing that tin roof sing a little rain song, thinking about the days gone. And that old cabin in the woods, sitting down by the river, and all the crazy nights I'll always remember. Still picking around the fire and singing for my dinner, feeling so damn good. That old cabin in the woods, we were young, beer was cold. That old cabin in the woods, cabin in the woods. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cabin in the woods. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey.
That is just a feel-good song.
Thank you.
It's just,
It does feel good. I love that kind of country music where it's just
yes, me too.
it's a story, and it's I don't know. I don't know if it's popular right now, but I love it. And that's kind of
Me
what
too.
I'm feeling right now with this album. And it's a total shift for my fans. I know it is. And I acknowledge that. I'll be the first to acknowledge that the Love You Like That Canaan is different than the Canaan they're getting right now. But the common thread is I've lived life. I'm the same guy. I'm in a different place
Yeah.
in life. And I'm drawing from inspiration from a different place, and my motivation and my goal is has shifted to be a more honest version of myself and a less what's a radio hit version of myself.
Yeah.
And that's led to just me letting it all out. And so I hope that they hear what's coming. Everyone who's listening now, I just want you to know that my music being received by anyone is something I don't take lightly. I'm so grateful for it. It keeps me going. And so I hope that these songs speak to you, and that we can get out there and play shows soon where I can come sing them in front of you.
Yeah.
When we put this album out,
Come to North Carolina.
we're going to come to a show as soon as possible in Carolina. And
Oh,
and I want all these new songs to hit harder than anything I've ever done before. And not because they sound like everything else, because people hear the honesty in them. And
yeah.
that's what I care about.
Well, I am one of they, so I have been a fan for a while.
Thank you.
So, I mean, hopefully all the other fans are like me, and we're just evolving with you.
Yeah.
That's amazing to hear. Thank you for saying that, because it's a worry of mine. I'll be honest. It's not like it hasn't kept me up at night, but it's where I'm like, I'm at a crossroads again here where I have to choose. Am I going to try? What's my goal? Am I trying to put an arrow in the bow of what I think people are going to like and shoot that arrow? Or am I going to put out music that I like no matter what? And those are two different things. But sometimes it lands right in the middle where it ends up being what everybody likes. And it's also what I love. And that's the goal here. So
I think you've done that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think you have done that. Because I loved it. I think I said to your manager when I emailed,
Greg,
the comment that you made about how Cabin in the Woods made you feel, that's what resonated with me so much to make me even attempt to reach out to you, and thank you for responding. I never expected that. Yeah, I mean, I responded extremely well to the song, so
awesome.
I think everybody else will. I mean, me and Kat both are saying so.
That's what they appreciate. I mean, if you love it, like they love you, and they see how that song makes you feel, even if it's not their favorite song that ever existed, like they know that you love it. And they already love you, so it just works.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, as fans, our favorite songs can change as as we get older, as we evolve with you. Our tastes change just like yours do. So, I mean, your ultimate hope is that your fans grow with you.
Right.
And I mean, that's what I've done with not only you, but other artists that I like as well. I mean, take Tim McGraw, for instance. Look at what he did 15 years ago compared to what he's putting out now. It's way different too.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, that's expected of any artist. If I don't see an artist grow in that amount of time and just continuously evolve to care more about what they feel and their family versus the outside world, I'm going to drift away a little bit. I'm more drawn to people that are doing just like you are right now and doing what's important to you, because it shows on your face when you sing it. It shows in your voice when you sing it.
Cool.
And it makes it believable.
Let's go.
Yeah. I feel like you're singing for you now. You're not singing for everybody else.
True. That is absolutely true. And that's a scary place to be, but it's
I can imagine.
Rewarding though. So, yeah. But I love and appreciate everything you just said, both of you. Thank you for that.
Oh, well, you're welcome. We're loving having you on. It's been I mean, we're not done yet, but I mean, it's been fun so far. We'll keep it going.
All right.
So, I mean, obviously you have lots of new music in the works and probably had a tour planned before COVID hit. Did COVID just mess you up completely like it did everybody else?
I was in the middle of a tour and we were 2 weekends in. So yeah, we kind of got a little taste, a little teaser. It was awesome. But yeah, then it got, the plug got pulled. So
yanked out from underneath you.
It was disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. And it's been something I really am missing. Here lately, I think I'm, again, I'm thankful for the time because it's given me time at home with my daughter and my wife, but it's also given me time to record the album. And so, yeah, it's actually, it's been very ideal, the time away. but now I'm itching pretty bad, especially I'm itching real bad to get out there.
They're ready to get back out there. I hear you.
Fun. Road's fun. You know, it can get routine after a while, but I'm people, all my band members and crew, we're all, I consider them all great friends of mine, and so we hang like, like any other friends out there, and so you feel like you're on a road trip every weekend.
Yeah.
Not to work. I mean, it gets monotonous at times doing the club circuit, especially, but it's also a blast. So I do miss that.
Yeah. So when you have downtime, when you're out on the road and you have downtime, what's something, I know that you love to hike, but like what's something that you and the guys would go out and do if you were, say, I don't know, away from home anywhere? What do y'all do on your downtime?
We got a football out there, we throw around, cornhole. We hit up, usually try to find like the mom and pop Mexican place in town.
Hey, we have a great Mexican place here. So
do you?
Yeah, come on, I'll take you out to Mexican.
Well, and it's all about the margaritas. It's not about the food.
Yes, that is my drink. Yes.
No, we do that kind of stuff, and we kind of like, I don't know, we keep it pretty chill. We play a lot of Mario Kart, actually. I feel like a kid on the road. I feel like
a
high school kid out there it's like we were having a big sleepover every night.
That's so funny.
That's great.
And so we kind of just cut up and all of that. But other times, we try to, if we're in a spot that's got any kind of beautiful hiking opportunities, I'm always out doing that. Fresh air. Buses get stale, and it's always important for me as soon as we roll up to kind of feel like I'm making something of my day besides just sitting around waiting for the show. So I'll explore the city on foot. I'll get a bike. Sometimes he's got a, side by side we can kick around. Sometimes I go ride horses, all that stuff.
Shoot, I want to go on tour with you. That all sounds fun.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It really can be. I mean, and one of the cool things that you do is that you meet so many people along the way that when you circle back through, you then have a starting place for a connection of, all right, what do I want to do today that sounds fun? I know somebody I can call, and we kind of, we definitely feel like we have friends all around the country.
You never know who you're gonna meet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, you never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah, I know it. It's exciting. It's fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what city have you been to that you just like want to go back? What's been the place that you've been that?
Oh, good question. To go back because of the city or because of the fans, like the show?
Either.
Okay.
Yeah, either one.
I love Oregon, as we just spoke about earlier. Cool city. But if you go to like anywhere in the Pacific Northwest is kind of like a zone that I really like.
Yeah.
Just to get out and explore. California, same thing. I love California for that reason. But when it comes to shows, it's hard to beat the Midwest. Ohio in particular is they love their live music much. It feels like every time I go through, it feels like a special show, and I always remember it. And I feel that way, a lot, no matter where I'm at. I always have a great show and a great time. But I do think that there's a consistent appreciation for live music in some towns that don't have much else going on. You can find those anywhere.
Oh yeah.
And I do find those everywhere. It's just, I've found it quite a bit in Ohio, which is cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Is there a state that you don't care anything about going back to?
I don't think so, honestly.
Interesting. Have you?
I haven't been to. I bet there's probably one or two I know I haven't been to Alaska. I probably would effing love Alaska though.
You probably
Yeah, I think I've been everywhere else though. I think I literally have played in all 50 except Alaska. And I mean, it's a
That is cool.
beautiful country we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is really cool. Not a lot of people can say they've hit every state.
I think I have.
That is pretty cool.
Wow.
And out of them, the Midwest is your favorite.
For the show itself.
For live shows, yeah.
The show itself, I always find the Midwest is pretty great spot.
I haven't been out there. And that's weird because my daughter lived in Washington State for 6 years and I never made it out there.
Got you.
Well, that's not the Midwest.
No, that's the West.
No, that's Pacific Northwest.
You said Midwest.
West is my spot for just like, getting out and doing the whole immerse yourself in the mountains kind of thing.
Yeah.
The Northwest is the best. But yeah, the Midwest is the spot for the shows.
So what is it like when you go back to Virginia?
I love going back every time I hit up my favorite sandwich in the world is at a place called the Cheese Shop. And it's right there on the Duke of Gloucester Street strip down in Colonial Williamsburg.
That's nice.
Place there. And every time I'm anywhere in the vicinity of Williamsburg, even if I have to ask for it on Twitter, hey, anybody want to hook me up with a cheese shop sandwich? That's happened before. I have to make it happen because it's so good. They have a special sauce, and I love
awesome
sauce. Yeah,
that's awesome. So growing up there, did you like live at Busch Gardens
all the time?
Yeah.
Got my first kiss at Williamsburg. I mean, at the garden.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, yeah. On the Sky Ride, heading from the Loch Ness Monster over to some other part of the park. I don't know where we were heading, but it didn't matter.
I remember the first time I went there. I used to like not be scared of any roller coaster whatsoever, but I would not ride the Loch Ness Monster. I was like, I'm not getting on that thing. No way.
That's my favorite.
It's that drain wash tunnel.
I was like, nope, you can't get me on that thing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how old I was. I had to have been young, but I was big enough to get on it. And probably just big enough to get on it, but I was not getting on it. And then, like, out of nowhere, these freaking peacocks come around.
What?
Yes, there was like peacocks that just freely walked through the park. And they had I don't know what you call their feathers, like spread wide open, and it scared the crap out of me.
That's hilarious.
I will remember that forever.
They do have a little zoo there, a little petting zoo. And it's
yeah,
Busch Gardens they do, that's right. They have a little petting zoo.
I guess that's where the peacocks came from. I don't know, but there were
goats. They have goats and stuff too. A little goat petting zoo. Anyhow, I spent a ton of time there. We had season passes every summer. And,
oh yeah, of course.
Another, did you know Water Country USA?
That's in Williamsburg, I think.
Yeah, same one. Same. I think that was owned by Busch Gardens too, so you could get a dual pass or whatever.
Yep.
And that was before I was wise enough to know that that water is probably the most nasty disease-ridden water you could ever let your children play in. But everything was different back in the 90s, so
yeah,
we didn't really care about that kind of stuff. But
no.
Literally saw the most nasty things floating in the pool. It was as gross as you can think. But we had a blast. That town was amazing, especially for summers, because it's right on the river too, the James River, and friends with boats and wakeboards, and we would just get out there and have fun. Yeah, it's a great town. It's a small town, so you get that kind of small town thing, but at the same time, it's got a freaking amusement park in the backyard too.
Yeah,
and a lot of history to it. So it's a really cool little pocket that you can. To grow up in.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, did you get into NASCAR since you're from this area? That's like the thing.
I grew up back when it was the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we were doing the Coca-Cola 600. we did that one, and we did the 500 every year. We did both races, and I'd been to Richmond. I did Daytona, Bristol.
Oh, Bristol is the best.
Yeah, but the one that was my favorite was always Charlotte, which is
Yep.
it Lowe's Motor Speedway now? Is it Lowe's Motor Speedway? Or
I think it's just Lowe's.
Yeah, it's Lowe's Motor Speedway.
You got to go to the NASCAR museum when you're in Charlotte. It's pretty cool.
I'd love to. I got an autograph from Kyle Petty. He came to Williamsburg doing a signing at the Williamsburg Pottery one time when we were kids, and we went up there and waited in line forever. And I got my T-shirt, my Kyle Petty T-shirt signed, and then I was so crazy about it, the sport in general, and just like had an obsession with Kyle Petty and Richard Petty, the Mellow Yellow 500 car back then when he was. I learned how to sign his name, and I was always like a doodler and stuff. But from the autograph, I literally learned how to do it. And I could still probably to this day still do it.
All the swirls in his name. It was crazy.
His autograph was crazy. He had put loops everywhere.
Yes.
Going on, and I was like, damn, that looks cool. I got to learn how to do that. So anyhow, all that to say, when I went to Belmont, there was a girl in my class named Montgomery Petty, and it was Kyle Petty's daughter.
Oh, really?
We became friends because I was wearing a Richard Petty T-shirt first day of class, and she was like, "Love your T-shirt." I was like, "Oh, you like NASCAR?" She's like, "Yeah, Kyle's my dad." I'm like, "What?"
That is too cool.
And then I showed her how to sign his name.
Oh, that's too cool. I love that. That is, oh, yeah. That's pretty wild.
So, yeah, I grew up going to NASCAR.
Yeah, you never know who you're going to meet, right?
Nope.
Who would have thought sitting beside you in class would be your driver's daughter?
Wow. Now
Have you ever got to sing the anthem at a race?
What's that?
Have you ever got to sing the national anthem at a race?
Not at a race. No, I haven't. I did the national championship college football game.
That's cool.
What? That's so cool.
I sang America the Beautiful.
Okay.
I sang America the Beautiful but it was broadcast. It was live for the college national championship a few years back. I think that was in 2016, I think.
That's cool.
It was Clemson, Alabama.
Yeah, it's like them every year, but yeah.
It is them at least every
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
So are you a bigger football fan or NASCAR fan?
Well, I mean, honestly, I drifted from NASCAR.
I think everybody has.
Yeah. You grew up in the 90s with it. It's totally different than it is now. And,
yeah.
And I just kind of stopped watching it on TV, and for one trip got canceled, I think, and it just kind of led to it kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
I was a huge Tony Stewart fan when he came on the scene. Huge Tony.
I can't talk to you anymore.
He was my guy.
Our relationship is over.
Guy.
We're no longer friends.
Punk, such a punk, but I was a Dale Earnhardt fan before him. So I liked that intimidator kind of punk ass attitude, and he had that.
Definitely.
And actually, which is weird because I don't like people like that. So I don't know why I wanted to pull for him.
But he is genuinely an ass.
A prick. He probably is. I don't know him,
Yes.
but I love him as a driver, and he inspired me to. I don't know. He won me over. I thought he was a badass.
Oh Lord, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna try to let you redeem yourself here. Are you a football fan? Fan? Okay, who's your team in football?
Ohio State Buckeyes. My wife Christy graduated from Ohio State, so I married into that football.
Yeah,
it did work because Belmont doesn't have a program, so I didn't have any allegiance. I was a free agent fan. And
free agent fan.
It works out because they're a badass team.
I like that verbiage.
They're always
they do. I'm gonna have to use that one someday.
Yeah.
All right. What about pro football?
Titans for sure. Titans. I mean, it's crazy to say, but we're actually a great team. And
Yeah, doing pretty good
We've
this year,
been a
actually.
great team since I moved to Nashville, really. So it's nice to see that. I hope we keep it up.
Yeah, I can deal with that. Can definitely deal with that one. But I am a Cowboys fan.
I
Have been.
was a Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith fan back in the
Yeah.
day. That's again the '90s thing. I was a Bulls fan, Chicago Bulls. I got to live through some of the greatest sports moments ever.
Yes.
I literally watched I watched the Carolina Duke game live, where Christian Laettner caught the ball at the free throw line and turned around and shot it at the buzzer for the win. I was watching that live on the couch with my family in real time when that happened. I remember it to this day. I saw all the Bulls championships and stayed up for every game like passionate, crazy Bulls fan. The Dale Earnhardt days, lived through those. My dad was at the race where he crashed.
That's crazy.
There's been some really epic sporting moments.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're a sports fan, we've definitely had them. That's for sure. And then this year, though.
And then I was going to say, and the Troy Aikman Dallas Cowboys dynasty. I was a huge fan. All at the same time. I don't know if I just picked all the winning teams, but I was just like, those were my teams. I was a Tar Heel fan for basketball because my dad's from North Carolina.
No way. What part?
My dad's from the Gastonia area.
Okay.
That's like 45 minutes from me.
Yeah, we're both from North Carolina.
Well, that's another home for me. I grew up going to Gastonia all the time.
That's so funny.
Why? There's nothing there.
There's nothing. There's a Bojangles.
I mean, it's a little bit better now. Of course, it's it's grown a little bit, but it's next door to Charlotte, so
and a cabin. So there you go.
There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely have my that Carolina has my affection. I love that area. And all the people. My dad, it's in my blood. So the Tar Heels, that was an easy one to pick up. That was also Eric Montrose, Jerry Stackhouse, Vince Carter days. I went to those games. I saw Montrose play live at University of Maryland against the University of Maryland. I went with my big brother, who was the biggest Carolina fan of us all. And just cool stuff.
Jerry Stackhouse is the head coach at Vanderbilt now, so I'm rooting for them.
Let's go.
Because I want him to get the Carolina job. So I'm like, go Commodores.
Damn, that would be awesome.
And I live in Nashville, so it works out. I need an SEC team to pull for.
Where is is there a Nashville, Carolina Tar Heel bar where you can go to watch?
No, I have been trying to find one. I'm a huge Carolina fan. And I'm like, I need somewhere to scream for my Tar Heels. And I can't find one.
We'll come over to the house. We'll do it. We'll watch it together. Come on.
Yes. Okay. My dog is named Canaan after Canaan Stadium where they play football. So it's bad.
That's man. We gotta remedy that.
Okay, he redeemed himself.
And I feel like because Christy went to Ohio State, she's not she only likes Carolina for the fact that I like them. But my dad is a huge fan still, and I feel a little out of the loop because he knows the squad and he's always up to date on the stats. And I don't have anybody in my life who's kind of like helping along with that. So let's do it. Come on over. Yes.
Have you been to Chapel Hill? It's beautiful.
I applied to Chapel Hill. That's where I wanted to go to school. I didn't get it.
It's so hard. But have you been to visit?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous. I think that was my first pick. My second pick was UVA in Charlottesville.
Oh, yes.
And I didn't get accepted there either, so I went to JMU, which stands for Just Missed UVA.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, since you went there, did you snow ski as well?
I did. I did a little. I think I skied maybe twice before snowboarding became a thing, and that's another thing. Snowboarding also was like a thing that started popping off in the early 90s.
Really?
Yeah. So that was another cool thing to kind of be around. Yeah, there's a we call it's Massanutten is the name of the resort.
Yep.
And
been there numerous times.
Like Massive Nothing, because it's like the smallest mountain, but it's the best you get for the area, and it's a close drive, and it's only icy snow. It's like week-old icy snow, but
it's great when you're learning how to ski, though.
It's perfect for that, and there's great places to stay on the mountain there.
Also,
lodges and cabins and stuff, and so I did that and had a blast. Wintergreen, another resort I would go to, and then some church trips we would go. I think we hit up a couple places, like Pennsylvania has a decent spot, but East Coast is just you can't even. I mean, it's not even.
I think on the East Coast, West Virginia probably has the best at snowshoe.
I've done that, but not even in the same conversation as the Western, out west.
Colorado has the best.
It does. Vancouver's my favorite, to be honest with you. Whistler and Vancouver is the longest, most radical slopes I've ever done. They're back.
Really?
Yeah. And yes, I said radical. Another 90s.
Radical? I was like, not rad, but radical.
Radical.
Completely.
Yeah. I love it. I'm not talking to some 20-year-old anymore.
No fear T-shirt when you say radical.
Well, that's definitely another thing on my bucket list. My bucket list is like huge of places that I want to go. So that's definitely another one that's on my list.
Do it.
So, I don't know how I'm going to manage to get to all these places before I die, but.
Oh, you got a lot on the ticker still.
Well, that's not so much the issue. It's, you got to have the money.
Yeah.
And that too.
Yeah. All right. So you said that you have been like, y'all have just been staying in during this whole COVID thing. And besides having your baby girl to keep you busy, because I know she's kept you busy. What have y'all been like doing? Like, have y'all been binge watching anything?
Yes, we do that a lot.
What's your binge watching?
The latest one was Queen's Gambit, about the chess player, the orphan girl who learned chess and became like a phenom. And
I've heard of that one.
And it's real artsy, and it's shot really cool. And who knew you could make a story about an orphan playing chess and it'd be so compelling? But we couldn't stop watching it. It's a great series. And then we do
it advertised, but I was like, chess?
I know, exactly. Try it though. See if you like it.
Okay. Yeah.
I love Righteous Gemstones on HBO. Have you seen that?
I haven't heard of any of these.
Oh, Righteous Gemstones is about this corrupt televangelist family. John Goodman's the father. Danny McBride is one of the sons, and it's like a comedy spoof, but like a drama, but like a storyline drama too. And it's hilarious and like sadly spot on with how I perceive televangelists anyhow. And it's a good one if you're into that kind of thing. Well, my wife's got me watching the freaking lame ass Bachelorette show.
Of course.
I've never seen it, so I can't say.
You've never watched it?
No.
I still do it, and I don't know. It's
your wife loves you for that. I can tell you that right now.
On the couch, and I won't pretend I don't like it. I do like it. It's
you can't help but get sucked into it.
It's entertaining, and you get to like pick your favorite girl. And,
oh my gosh, I bet
which dude you think is cool, and which ones are douchebags. And,
yeah,
it's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch Ozark?
Love Ozark.
No.
Ozark. Love that.
That was freaking fabulous. I cannot wait till the next season comes on.
Oh, and Mrs. Maisel, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. You see that?
What is that?
No.
Oh, that's a good one. That's on Amazon. That's a good one.
I missed that one.
There's so many different like TV watching services. I can't keep track of all of them. Like
know.
Hulu, I'm like, no.
I know. And you forget. Like, I probably am in the middle of a series right now. I just can't remember.
Yeah.
Because we watch so many and they're all over the place, like you're saying.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been a good season for those shows, I think. We've had some good options.
Oh yeah, the binge watching has definitely been happening, I think, everywhere.
Yeah.
It's funny that that's like a question everybody's asking everybody because, I mean, what else are you going to do when you're stuck inside and not supposed to go anywhere?
Yeah, that's what we do. We've been cooking at home too for the first time. Really, because when our first few years of marriage, it was just go, 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 and we would eat
Yeah.
it mostly or order something. And it's crazy how much money you save
Yeah.
and how more fun it is to feel like you feel more at home almost if your fridge is full and you go grocery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Oh
especially with beer.
yeah.
So,
No, you got to have that.
Yeah.
so
But all right, well, you mentioned Mexican a while ago, so evidently you like Mexican. Is that your go-to food? Is that like your go-to comfort?
well, it's easy to make.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know why it's always I feel like I never get tired of Mexican. And maybe some other things are like I would probably pick other foods as favorites. Um, but it's like a loud T-shirt. You can only wear it once in a while. Mexican
Yeah.
is like a white T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in any kind of racist way. It has nothing to do with color or race. This is a terrible metaphor for how I could have Mexican as often as I wear a T-shirt.
So Rose Pepper in Nashville is in East. I don't know what part of the city you live in.
Yeah, I like Rose Pepper.
I was like, they do takeout. You can get takeout margaritas. It's great. I
Oh,
love it.
now you're talking. Well, my
Yeah, with
favorite
the food.
Mexican joint in town is Mas Taco, also in East Nashville. Mas Taco,
Okay.
por favor. Have you been there?
I haven't. I just moved to Nashville in April, but I'm a big foodie. So
Thank me later. Just go check it out.
Mas Taco. Okay.
Mas Taco, por favor.
I cannot imagine to-go margaritas because
Oh yeah, they got them here.
Oh, they're so good.
It's to-go alcohol right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, but a good margarita must have a lot of salt. And how are you going to have salt in a to-go margarita?
They do it downtown too. There's a spot near the Hutton Hotel, I think it is.
Yeah.
Or but they've been it's inside. It's right by the Country Music Hall of Fame. There's a little place right there. A great little Mexican. They've been doing to-go margaritas from day one, but now everybody's doing them to go whatever.
You can't have salt, but they're still good. So
there you go.
But they're not as good.
Oh well, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shake the salt when you get home.
Exactly.
It's not the same. You have to have that
crystallized
margarita salt. It's just
Okay, so when you come to Nashville, we'll go get some good salty margaritas. Hopefully that are not to go.
I'm in.
I'm ready for it. Ready. All right. Do you name your guitars?
I did name one guitar, and it's not this one, but it was so I learned on a real shitty guitar, and it was all I needed, obviously, at the time. And but anyhow, it had me wanting something better and saving up for it. So when I've had enough to buy my own kind of, back then dream guitar, which it's not my dream guitar now, but it was
obviously.
It was an electric made by ESP, which is total it's how do you categorize that? It's like probably emo rock land. I would put it in that zone. The kind of guitars for like emo rock, maybe something like that. But it was a little green cutaway electric, and it was like almost Kermit the Frog green. So I named him Kermit.
Oh, that's cute.
That's cool. I like that.
Oh, Kermit. Kermit the Hermit. Never got it.
That's cute. I like that. I think people should name their guitars.
Me too.
I think it's cool. I just think it's cool.
My truck is named Ozzy.
That's a good name.
Ozzy the truck.
Yeah, see, I feel like everybody names their cars.
Yeah.
But mostly just women name their guitars.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's what I'm coming to learn.
Well, not calling me a woman.
No.
I'm teasing.
No. All right. Well, I guess it's that time.
You want to hear one?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get it sort of in.
Is this going to be another new one?
I wrote this song in 2012, I think it said. We just looked it up the other day. I think it's about 8, 9 years old. And I love the season I'm in right now as an artist because it's allowing me to remember songs from back when that still mean something to me and were written from a different perspective. That was, again, like we were saying earlier, no target in mind except just kind of a place of an honest dialogue with myself, sort of. And now that I'm at this place in my life where I got so much to be grateful for, I'll sit on the couch sometimes thinking I'm living the dream, and when I feel that way, I can't help but love songs like this. So that's why I had to record it.
All right.
It's called American Dream. The summer lightning strikes, blows out all the lights, and slows us down, reminds us just how far we've come. We were on some rocky roads, walked through fields of gold. And thick and thin, you always been my only one. Living this American dream, there's no place that I'd rather be. With you by my side, girl, I'm home and I'm free. This is the stuff life is made of, and I hope I never wake up from this American dream. So pour that glass of wine, like all we got is time. But on nights like this, we just don't get them near enough. And in each other's arms, we're safe in every storm. And if rain comes through this worn out roof, we'll patch it up. Yeah. Living this American dream, there's no place that I'd rather be. With you by my side, girl, I'm home and I'm free. This is the stuff life is made of, and I hope I never wake up from this American dream. Oh, 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 whoa. Living this American dream, there's no place that I'd rather be. With you by my side, girl, I'm home and I'm free. This is the stuff life is made of, and I hope I never wake up from this American dream. American dream. American dream.
Yeah. I like that too.
I remember when I
Yeah.
first heard you play that song live, which is really
You
weird.
remember that?
Yeah, so I think, call me crazy, but I don't know if this is if this is true, but I think you came to Meredith College and played our Sizzling September concert.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I helped plan that. That's where I went to school.
That's amazing.
And then I was like, look at how we ended up reconnecting. But yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I was like, this has got to be. I was like, this is the same person. I swear.
That is wild. Yeah,
and
was that long? I mean, I wrote that song that long ago.
No, it was probably around the same time. It was between the years of 2013 and 2017.
Yeah, it's probably 13.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy for sure.
That's so
cool.
Yep.
Wow. Well,
that's so cool. Yeah, I love that. That's great. That is crazy that you wrote that 7 years ago.
Yep.
8 coming up on 9.
Jeez.
Yeah. It is crazy to think about how songs can resurface, you know?
Yeah.
And timing is everything too. Like right now, you know, this kind of message, living the American dream message, you know, needs to be heard more, I think. So
yeah.
I felt compelled to record this one.
Yeah. I think it's extremely fitting for the times that we're in.
Oh yeah.
I lost you. What'd you say there?
Yeah, I think it's extremely fitting for the times that we're in.
Yep.
Dang it, I can't hear you.
Am I?
She said, I think it's extremely fitting for the times that we're in.
Oh yeah. Well, I agree, and that's part of what was pulling me towards it and made me remember it. And it just felt like, because I've always loved the song, and I got some songs in my catalog that I have always gone back to, and I'm like, man, I hope there's a time and place for that song because I really love it. This was another one of those songs that it came time for it to find a spot, you know, and that feels really rewarding.
Yep.
Really rewarding, because you don't know what you know. 9 years coming up on 9 years later, you think, well, that song's never going to see the light of day, and then you know, the world turns and opportunities happen.
Yeah. So when is this? Is that going to be on your next EP?
Yeah.
Cool.
Album. We're putting out a full
a full album.
Full album in at the top of next year.
Awesome.
That's so soon. Holy cow.
Good. So we don't have to wait long.
No, I think we're looking. I don't have an exact date for you that I'm even certain of or could share, but it's first quarter next year. Yeah.
Awesome. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank y'all.
And when it gets close to release time, we need to have you back on.
I'm down.
And
this has been awesome. It's
really
to talk to people like you who came from where I came from and appreciate what I do.
Oh, heck yeah. That's why we love doing this, because it's just, I mean, we just have fun.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. And the little connections you make with people, it's like, oh my gosh, like everyone's so nice. And
well,
most everybody.
I wouldn't say everyone, yeah, but
most everybody.
You appreciate the connections that you meet with people, and
I do too.
You know?
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to be in the circle. Thanks for having me.
Well, you are officially in this circle now.
A proud circle, man.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. It has truly been a blast. It's been fun.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely have to do it again. We will be on the lookout for all good things coming next year from you. We'll definitely stay in the loop. I'll have to get on your email list.
Yep.
I used to hate to be bombarded with emails, and now it's crazy and like I would never sign up to get emails from anybody because I was like, I get junk mail. I don't want to have to worry about it anymore, you know? So even like I would never sign up for any of my favorites. And now it's funny because like, you know, my old favorites I still don't sign up to them, but like I get emails from you and Lizzie and some of the other ones that I've interviewed that I've became friends with. And I'm like, okay, I want their emails.
Oh, well, hey.
So yeah.
Hit me up anytime. I love getting the message from you. Honestly, I was like, hell yeah, that means so much to me. Because that validated that what I'm doing is not crazy. The fact that Cabin in the Woods spoke to you like it did, and you said it. You were a fan of my other stuff, but this one really stood out to you, and you loved the new direction. I was like, damn, that means so much to me right now. He doesn't even know it.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad it mattered to you. And yeah, it's just that song. I don't know what it was exactly about that song. It just took me back to a place that when like everything was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I guess that's what you were aiming for. But cool. I don't know. It took me to a different time and place.
Come on.
Kind of, yeah, just made me forget about the crap that's going on, And I'm like, yes, that's what I want country music to be.
Yes.
It feels like we used to have that a long time ago, and it's just not there anymore. That now it's just so much country music, and not that I don't enjoy it, I do, but it's so poppy.
Yeah.
And I just like old country.
Yeah.
So that just kind of took me back.
We listened to a lot of Willie Nelson in our house.
Heck yeah. Willie Whalen and the boys.
Willie Whalen and the boys. We like Merle. We like George Strait. I'm giving Virginia a good upbringing when it comes to music.
Oh, George Strait. Yes. Now you have to introduce her to Conway Twitty as well.
Yeah, he's on some of the.
Yes.
She's into the hamster song and the gummy. Got to work those in.
Oh Lord, just don't bring Baby Shark back. I'm so tired.
Now, they've got Christmas Shark and they've got all.
I know.
Crazy.
Santa Shark and all that. Yeah,
I know. I know the words to these kids' songs more than I remember.
Yep.
It's not over yet. You're just starting, really.
Yeah. So,
all right.
God bless you, ladies.
Thank you so much for being on. It has been a pleasure. We've had a blast. We'll do it again. We will. For anyone that tuned in live and watched it, I'm glad y'all did. For those that are watching the replay, I'm glad you watched it. Yeah. And if nobody watched it, oh well, their loss.
We still had fun.
We had a blast.
Had a blast. Loved it.
Much fun.
We hardly have a lot of people on live. They tend to watch the replays, which is fine. We can laugh at ourselves later with them.
Yeah. Sounds good.
That works. Anyway. All right. Have a great night.
You too.
Good night, everybody.
See y'all.
Bye.